what up, guys? John here, hanging out, LinksWell Together podcast, episode 25, and folks, this is take 3. So let's get at it. What up, guys? That's what this is take 3 for this week's episode. The first take, what broke on the first take? I think cameras broke or something on the first take, and I couldn't get signal working, so I had to restart. And then Vic and I shot, which I'm telling you guys is the podcast of all podcasts. It was going to be the greatest podcast we have ever podcasted, only Vic's microphone didn't work. So you hear me sweet as butter, because I think I have a sweet as butter voice.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sweet as butter. Anyways, so I sweet as butter, and Vic sounded like he was in the other room. He's like, and I was like, oh, man. And it sucks, too, because we paused because we're getting ready for KnowledgeFest. Right. So we've got 2 trucks that we got to put stuff in to get to KnowledgeFest. And we've been waiting on these components to show up from our factory. And they showed up Wednesday night. So first thing Thursday, yesterday morning, we're going to record, and then we're going to go put these in the truck. So we get up here. I had in hand the 19 to 23 Silverado, showing and talking about all of the things.
Oh, man.
What makes it special, what makes us different from the other guys, why this is the one you guys want, all of the cool things. And then we hit end record, went and put it in the truck, and then I went to go edit the video, and I was like, I got no audio. So I can't even remake it. 1, because the radio's in the truck now. And 2, Vic ain't even here.
Yeah, he had the day off.
Yeah, he had the day off. I didn't even introduce that you were here.
Yeah, I mean, this is, I think, cool. Number 3.
That's true. You're a household name now.
Yeah.
The Mr.
Just like Kroger cups, it's art.
Kroger cups?
Yeah. Kroger is like an east side of
it's
America.
Like Stater Brothers or whatever.
Yeah, they have their own little K-cups.
Do they?
Yeah, the point is, you don't really know about them. You don't really know about me, so.
I'm so confused right now. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, thanks for taking over round 3. So round 3, we're going to make this up as we go.
Oh, of course.
It's 100% on the fly, y'all.
Yeah.
This is how geniuses are created, or villains.
Yeah.
Super villains.
Definitely villains.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where something's going to happen and one of us will become a villain.
Yeah, so one will be a hero. And
yeah. This is that moment. This is the moment. This is that, what you guys were talking about. You guys were talking about the worst movies back there yesterday, by the way. Shark Tale, bro.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, my gosh. Anyways,
Classics.
Shark Tale is garbage.
Okay.
I will tell you what is good.
Generational differences here.
No. Anyways. Megamind's solid.
Megamind's a fantastic movie.
So I feel like this moment right now is the opening scene of Megamind, when the good guy and the bad guy run into each other. Yeah. And then the one guy ends up in the loving home, and the other guy. That's what's happening right now, guys. You're seeing it. One of us will be. What was the good guy's name?
Dude, I don't know, but he just had a white suit. He looks like Markiplier, the YouTuber.
What was his name?
Me love the character. I don't know.
Something
He's
man.
In it for a minute and then
disappears.
Yeah, Mega Man takes the center stage.
Yeah.
And it's the only movie where we
Anyways.
Yeah.
One of us will be Megamind. I want to be Megamind. I think Megamind's the star.
I think you have a bigger head than I do. So you're already there.
Bigger brain. Nah. Anyways.
Yeah.
But with that, here's what I'm thinking, man. We are, as of today, in 7 days, we will be in Vegas.
Yeah.
We will be setting up.
KFest.
KFest, yep. We'll be hours away from an opening. So I figure, man, it's the first show of the year, and we've got a pretty big show season. I know you don't get to attend a bunch of them, but my thought was, man, let's just talk about exciting things for 2025 in the shows. It's kind of funny. Vic and I are supposed to be the ones that do most of this, but Justin and I did the ending 2024.
Yeah.
Here you are going to hang out with me on 2025. I don't know. It's funny. But K-Fest. So first thing foremost, before anything, still looking for interviews, guys. So if you're interested in coming by the booth, jumping on camera, I just want 5-10 minutes, man. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Your name and the name of your shop and where you are. How long you've been a LinksWell dealer, and your favorite part about being a LinksWell dealer, and then of the new products that we have shown, what's the thing you're most excited to see hit the market, and really just kind of chit-chat about that.
Yeah.
Maybe it goes a little bit. Every interview's been a little different because Well, everybody's a little different.
Right.
Everybody's got a little different character. So, literally, man, you'll just jump in 10, 15 minutes tops, and then we'll put it out on our media. You guys put it on your media. So one more time, because this will be the last podcast before we're at Vegas. If you're interested in that, please do reach out. Let me know.
It's not too difficult, honestly. I mean, this is my third time popping in.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm doing stuff.
You know why?
I'm doing excellent.
It's because I'm a phenomenal host.
You are. You're
I'm
fantastic.
totally lying. But
Sweet as butter.
Sweet as butter. Smooth as chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, that's a total lie.
Yeah.
It's because everybody else is cool.
I think you've had some pretty awesome people.
We have had some cool folks in.
Yeah.
And I have a list of guys coming in this year. I think I might have mentioned this a couple weeks ago, but I do have a list of guys that I'm trying to get scheduled in. Like, we've got motocross freestyle guys.
Okay.
We've got folks within the industry in the off-road world. We've got tent makers. We have all kinds of crazy guys that we've partnered up with. So pretty excited for that. And ultimately, I really would love, like, if you're not going to be at K-Fest and you still want to get on, like, we can do this remote. Like, I'll just send you a link. All you need is an iPhone.
Yeah.
Or even a webcam or whatever you're going to use. And we can chit-chat then, too. So I'd love to get as many extra folks in here.
For sure.
It's more fun when there's more people.
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
Indeed.
So anyways, but K-Fest, man, so...
I mean, for one, right off the bat, the Silverado radio is going to be there. So if you're there, you're going to see it. You're going to be able to interact
the episode, the lost episode.
Yeah. You'll get to actually live it out.
Yeah, it's the lost episode. That'll be there. And the big old 18.5.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, the Ford will be there, too. So we will probably end up doing a couple episodes in vehicle. I don't know how I'm going to work that out yet, because I got to figure out how to do, I got to figure out how to do microphones, and I guess I could do the lapels. I'll figure it out. Yeah, we might end up doing a couple podcast episodes from the trucks, because that's the best way to see those radios anyways.
It's free content. It's podcast videos. You can just have it stacked up.
We'll just do like 50 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of downtime. That's the only downside I have. Like, I don't want to knock the show or anything, but the only downside to K-Fest is how little time the floor is open.
Yeah. Well, because they got all the training.
Yeah, they have all the training. So I get the training side of things, but not everybody goes to every training.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you could open the floor a little bit more because, stragglers and whatnot. But it is Vegas, so then again, folks could be out doing Vegas things anyways, so, and not coming. But, so excited. It's going to be one of our smaller booths. We're just going to have one vehicle this year. We're going to have, I think, the Ford is hanging out with us. And then the Silverado will be right next to us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have a feature vehicle. And then, of course, we announced yesterday about TanLink.
Yeah.
Yep. So TanLink is I called it an affiliate company because I don't know how else to explain it. But same owners, different company.
Yeah.
Different product, but same kind of support, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yep, so they'll be right there with us showing off Wolf Box and Red Tiger and all the cool stuff. So if you guys are in the market or you do any sales when it comes to the DVRs, and they've got some weird things. Remember that big air gun? Oh, you didn't go to SEMA?
I didn't see it.
It was this massive, I think you're supposed to dry cars off with it or something.
Okay.
And we were just shooting stuff. We were just as people were standing there, because this thing was it sounded like a whoosh, it was loud, and we were knocking stuff off of tables, and
that's hilarious.
Yeah, I was getting Justin. It was great.
I'm sure he loved that.
Yeah, he was. He's just joyous all the time.
Always.
Justin is
high energy, positivity.
So happy all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see it in the podcast when you guys are camping.
Yeah. He was just couldn't contain himself.
Yeah. He was just.
It's super funny because I was because he's not really gone camping before, right?
Yeah.
Like literally, he was my option because he's a camera guy.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I got to go out here and do all this stuff, and it's really hard to do solo work. Like any of you guys that do media solo, it's hard because if I'm recording, I can see my small little 3-inch screen, but I'm 10 feet away from it, right?
Yeah.
So I really don't know if I'm in focus. I really don't know what is going on, and you don't know until you're done. So I was like, man, I'm gonna drive all the way out there. I'm gonna set up, and then the other thing, I really wanted to do media from both vehicles. I wanted to demo the Victron stuff inside the Jeep, and I wanted to demo the stuff, the Renergy stuff in the Tacoma. I wanted to be able to show that we could control both. But that did not go as planned, because we had to rescue guys in Camrys and trees were falling on the thing, and so
a very hero act.
Yeah. Oh man, we dug and dug and dug and dug, man. I was like, and I said it in the podcast too, I almost didn't stop because I was like, I got work to do, man. Like, I'm not here on pleasure, right?
Yeah.
I was like, I almost didn't stop, and then I just looked as I was like passing by, and I was like, oh, they're never gonna get out of there. Like they're never gonna get out of there. It's like a Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm like, the chances of another person coming down this trail is pretty slim. Like,
yeah, I feel like it's like that movie scene, and like you're driving by and you're like, no, they'll get help, and then like it's gonna start raining, and then you're gonna start feeling bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get windy. There's gonna snow for some reason.
Yeah, it would have been just awful. And then like, so like when we stopped and we sat there for an hour, right, like lifting them up and moving the jack and digging out a rock, and then we got them out of there, and then we drove like not even a quarter mile, and then the tree was down and we had to turn back around. And so I was like, I'm so glad I stopped, man, because like had I not stopped, then I would have had to drive right by him again. And been like, oh, my bad.
Hey,
yeah, so I'm super glad that we stopped, because that would have been bad news. But yeah, anyways, I brought Justin because he's a camera guy, so I was needing his help with doing the camera work, and then we didn't get to. But so I was like, hey, you want to go camping? And he's like, sure. You know, super
that's
excited.
100%. That was such a good.
He's
name.
like,
yeah,
sure. Yeah, I don't have a sleeping bag. I'm no worries. I got a sleeping bag. Cool. When?
Yep. Ball of energy, people.
I was like, well, how about you come here and we'll leave here early. But that was the other thing that didn't happen, was because Victor had done the training the day before, and I needed to edit that video. And I love you, Victor, but man, you talk, bro. And so I was like, it took me forever to get that video edited, so we ended up leaving late too. It was a whole calamity of affairs that didn't happen. And then we ended up selling the Tacoma, so I can't even have an excuse to take him now.
Yep.
Maybe I can get him to take the F-150.
Yeah?
Yeah, that would be cool. Anyways, how do we even get on Justin?
When is it not about Justin?
You're right.
But yeah, KFest, we're talking about the dual vehicles.
Yeah, dual vehicles.
The future is going to be nice.
The future, yeah. TanLink.
Yeah. Tigers.
I don't know how.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with it too.
I have no idea how we ended up there. But, all right, cool. Well, let's pull it back in and talk about KFest. We're going to be doing a training. So if you're there, sign up for our training Friday at 3, I believe, is our training.
Okay. Training.
Yep. And we're going to do a full overview of our products. So we'll talk about universal radios, IQ radios. We'll talk about amplifiers, DSP amplifiers, the RV stuff. And then I'll do a live demo of the RV thing, live demo of the DSP amp, and then a live demo of the T-Style XL. So folks will be able to see the T-Style XL kind of up on a big projector screen. So,
for sure.
So if you're interested in kind of what we have going on, great place to do it. And of course, we'll have questions. It's like an hour and 20 minutes long. I don't plan on talking for an hour and 20 minutes. So we'll be open for questions if you guys got questions and whatnot. So it'll be the first time we've done a training for KnowledgeFest, at least in Vegas. We had 2 in Dallas on accident one time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, we only did one of them because we didn't know we were signed up for them. And I got a text message from one of our dealers. I don't remember which dealer it was. It was like, hey, where are you at? I'm like, lunch? He's like, aren't you supposed to be doing a training right now? I was like, no.
No.
He's like, well, I'm in your training room. So then I made one up for the next day, for the Sunday. But anyways, so we'll do a training first time. I think it's the first time in Vegas that we've done a training. So come by, see that. Yeah. Check out all the stuff we have going on. We'll do some live demo stuff. And then, what else, man? What else? Of course, showing off the normal stuff. We'll be showing off the new Yukon XL radio, the XL for the Yukon Denali Suburban Tahoe.
Yeah.
Yep. That'll be demoed. That massive 18 in the Ford.
Yeah, dude. We just keep pushing that.
Yeah. So exciting stuff. And then, I might answer questions about some of the stuff that's coming, like Gen 7, but that's pretty far off still. But
yeah.
Anyways.
Gen 7. There's history there. I mean,
there is, man. It's been a long long road to 7. Anyways, yeah, KnowledgeFest. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I work for the company, so there's a little bit of a, like, I have to wear the shirt, you know what I mean? I have to be on the team.
Wear the shirt.
But I would have to say, like, you know, when we look at, like, product that has multiple generations or iterations of itself, you begin to see improvement, right? And I feel like when you look at an Apple phone, you know, when it was the 2, and then the versus now, the variety of functions that it offers are like almost limitless, right? But it started from somewhere and it's progressed, and so you get to like the 5, you get to 10, and you're just, you know, living life with this easy of function. And I feel like the LinksWell radio started off, you know, with that rough, crude, or
very Frankenstein, and because then, everything, all the parts were a little different.
And as we're going, we're like shaping and trimming and reforming a couple of things. And so I think like, even from when I started with the company a couple of years ago, like the 4, I think we were just moving into the 5, and the progress from the 4 to the 5 seemed pretty great, and then the 5 to the 6 is like. You know,
another big jumps.
Yeah, we went from the Bronze Age all the way to like computers. Like it was like a big difference, right? And even then, like the Bronze Age, when you're in it, it's fantastic. It's much better than rocks and stone, right?
Until you know it's not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I think that's one thing that our era or our generation of people, especially like mine and the younger one, we lived and were born in the technological era. So like it's like all we know, and so it's very easy for us, I think, to overlook how much progress actually is progress, or we're so easily able to like hyper criticize like this one little tiny thing, but in reality it's literally in the next generation that we have a solution, you know what I mean? So it's like the ability to kind of quick response like LinksWell has been fantastic. It's been pretty impressive, to be honest. Yeah. So I really will.
And you're coming out of the industry too.
Yeah.
Like you're not even part. You didn't even grow like roots in the 12-volt industry for a really long time. So yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. If I had a truck, I would have a LinksWell.
I know we've talked about that. Like I don't want to buy a car that I can't put one in.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that like to be cheesy or you know, you work for the company, but like you said, it is what it is, man. Like it just does something different.
Yeah. Like I have a Nissan, so already I'm like in a disadvantage. So secondarily, like the OEM factory radio is such a pain in the butt. Like I can't get the CarPlay to work sometimes, and it's pissing me off. And it's like it's things like that where like I look at some of the little nuanced obstacles that you have as a product, you know, because everyone's, you know, trying to figure out and provide the best service and everything, and we're trying to like really create these solutions, working with the engineers and software, trying to go back and forth as tech support and really like try to make a product that will do what the customers want, what we want to offer. And it's CarPlay and Android Auto is like a world-breaking platform, or you know, kind of product that it, you know, allows us to like do something that you couldn't do like 20 years ago, right?
Sure.
And it's still being developed. It's still being, you know, like iOS 18.2 right now. The amount of calls I get, I'm like, I just updated and I don't get it. And I'm like looking at the forums and I'm like, it's not just you, buddy. It's literally every OEM, and it's like really trying to wrestle and be like, hey, you know what, like, even though we're getting kind of a brunt of some of these things, just because like there's not a lot of awareness, we still find, you know, that we have the ability to like provide comfort and confidence. Like, hey, like, I understand that this, you know, well, it's, you know, we're like looking up product that's not even ours or software that's not even ours and trying to like keep up with the people and
find the holes.
Yeah, and just be like, all right, hey, like, let's do this, and this, and you know, I think even the tech support realm has evolved too, at least on our end. You know, as we are growing with the product, we're going and getting more familiar and trying to engage with dealers and distributors and even end users to some degree, and like just really trying to pull in information and see what we can do. I mean, like you and Shu, Vic, Walt, the engineers, like I know you guys have those meetings and you guys get to sit there and like really be like, can we do this? Is this possible? What's possible? You know, and like we have like
I don't know if those are the fun meetings.
Yeah, but I mean, like I know you guys are scratching your heads trying to figure things out. It's a constantly moving industry, and you guys are.
I mean, I mean, we are. and we're blazing trails.
Yeah.
You know, like ultimately that's what Vic and I talked about in take 2 of the Lost podcast. In take 2 of the Lost podcast, when we were talking about the GM, the 19 GM or 19 to 23 GM radio, and how like there's something on the market now, but it's just a screen replacement, so it's not even comparable.
Right.
And I don't mean to say that as if to say like it's garbage. Fundamentally, it's different. Right. Like it's like trying to compare what is better, you know, a Ferrari or a built-out Jeep.
Yeah.
Well, depends what you're going to do, right? Like if you're trying to go really fast, then you probably don't want to do it in the Jeep.
Right.
You're trying to go over the dirt, you probably don't want to do it in the Ferrari, right? And so fundamentally, it's functioning different.
Right.
You know, and so it's designed to just be a screen replacement, which means it retains all of the factory things, and it doesn't have, you know, the cost and the need to do all of the reverse engineering about recreating it. But what that does is it creates a very stark difference inside the system, because now you're like displaying 2 separate systems on one screen and they can't coexist because they're completely separate. And so like if you're going to be in CarPlay on the new whatever, you're going to run some new app on their new screen. In order for you to use your backup camera or something like that, you have to go out of their interface and back into the console interface so that the console stuff can be what shows up. So it just functions differently.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do is what it boils down to.
Right.
Whereas for us, we're a complete replacement. So all of our stuff is working internally and it's doing all that stuff, which means though, like our development time is like 30,000 times longer with a whole lot more moving parts and a whole lot of other things that are required. But for us, we didn't want to, because we could have came out with a screen only like 4 years ago.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, we could have done that. Like we talked about that in those meetings you mentioned. And for us, it was like, we didn't want that because everything that we've created up to this point has been purposefully built to run as fluidly as possible. Like we wanted something to function OE and add all of the aftermarket stuff and function as smooth as possible, because in all reality, our systems are 100% a Frankenstein system, because it's a tablet and it's a car stereo and it's a climate control board and it's a CAN bus module, and all of these things then have to talk to each other and interface, and you know, data's got to move where it needs to go.
Absolutely.
So the amount of work it is, but then what it does is it creates a fluid function, because it's all one piece. It's not like separate, you know, and stuff. So for us, we had the opportunity. Well, if we just came out with the screen, it would be really easy. We wouldn't have to worry about the Ethernet. We wouldn't have to worry about the fact that there's no chips on the market that can actually use this new data system that GM's using. But for us, it was like, yeah, but what happens if a customer gets in there and the clunkiness of having to go from console to us, that clunkiness leaves a bad taste in their mouth, and they think, oh, all of LinksWell products are clunky. Right? We want anybody who uses any of our product, no matter which one it is, to walk away with the same expectation, or at least the same feeling of like, this was well manufactured, this was well designed, this was well worked out. So for us, it was like, nope, that'll be too clunky. It'll be too clunky. It'll leave us open, because then you go to Chevy, you get your truck updated, and now that's changed, which means your interface changes, and now you have to fix your interface because it's not interfacing right. So for us, it was just like, we're not going to take the easy route, you know, or the short route or whatever, because we want people's experience with our product to be the same across the board. We want it to be fluid. We want it to be smooth. We want it to be all of that stuff. So with that, sometimes things delay.
Like, I mean, like it's not like if we were just going to choose one make, I think we would knock it out of the park. If we were just like, we're just going to make Ford radios, only Ford replacements, you would have an absolutely probably 10 out of 10 every range, just brilliant product, right? And so, but we're not just Ford. Replacing. We're Ram, we're Jeep, we're GM, we're Sierra, we're this and that. So it's covering all these grounds, which means every obstacle of change that each vehicle make does per their year ranges that we try to accomplish, we also have to take on that venture. And so, like you were saying, that developmental process takes longer. And I think, you know, dare I say, like if we're at the head of this piece of the industry, you know, of providing a T-style radio type product, you know, we're definitely gonna be the one running into the walls and whacking at the bushes to try to create this path, right?
Banging our head on the door.
Yeah. So we're trying to figure these things out. And so obviously there's going to be things that we're going to hit, and then we're going to take a step back, figure out how to navigate it through this, and then get through it to the other end. And, you know, when people really take a step back from their initial, like, okay, hey, like, what's going on here? And they look at what our product can offer, it's absolutely stellar. Like,
like you
were saying, like, it's not just campus, it's not just climate, it's not just this. Like, you have a phone in your pocket that's able to do insane amount of things that you couldn't even imagine like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then you have these OEM things that work smoothly because the factory's designed it to work at the exact pace and the data that it's meant for, both the camera, the OEM thing, but it's still limited to its piece, but it works excellent. Not the Nissan Altima, but it works excellent.
It works great. Sort of.
Yes. But then you put in our thing, which is, like you're saying, a Frankenstein piece that's tethering all these pieces together, and it's doing something that not really any other product is. So, like, if you want to come at it one side and you're only an OEM kind of guy and you're like, okay, but my OEM can do this thing. And it's like, yeah, you know how that works? It's because the manufacturer came up with the exact coding for all these things. We're grabbing that and then also adding in climate and also adding in Google Play Store and Android platform stuff and also adding in Bluetooth SIM card or Sirius XM. Like, we're adding all these things together. And so when you take a immature or, I guess, an uneducated view and only viewing it from one side and you extend it to the full range, you're like, oh, I can really grasp what this is offering.
Yeah.
And I think that's, like, when we get dealers that have that experience, that are able to look at multiple angles and really see what this product can offer, it's always a stellar response.
Yeah.
And so...
well, and it's good. We're different to the industry, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of hope to kind of convey at KFest next weekend with the training. Is just like, you know, we've got things that aren't available elsewhere.
Right.
They're different. They require a little bit different mindset around them, but they do have some really cool stuff. And like, we aren't a company that short sides development.
Right.
You know, we really do work hard to do it. That's why if you jump into one of the trucks at KFest and something on the radio isn't quite moving forward the way you think it should be, that's because both of those are beta units.
Yep.
And that's the reason they're not on the market yet.
Right.
Because there's just a few quirks or something that, you know, in base programming or, you know, some kind of handshake that needs to happen. We just got to figure out what it is. And once we get that, this is when they'll hit the market. So
yeah, absolutely.
But yeah. So it's fun. That's kind of what I love about the shows personally, is like seeing it on social media or, you know, a picture of it because a rep brings it into you or something like that. Like, the product can look pretty cool, but then when you actually like see it and like you can actually see the fluidness of it and see the responsiveness of it, and then you start to like see how we've got some stuff where we're like have a ring attached to it, or, you know, we're controlling lights or something. Right. You can just start. Then once you've experienced, like, oh man, like those are not LinksWell parts, but LinksWell's controlling them or communicating with them, then your brain starts to go like, oh, what else can I connect to it? Like, what else can this thing do? Right. And those are the dealers that really do well with our product, because they start to think outside the box, right? Like we really have in this industry been kind of put in a box for a good long time. And the OE has really kind of outshined us when it comes to developing, as they were using the multimedia system now to do a whole bunch of stuff in vehicle. And so it's kind of twisted what a car stereo is anymore. Like, it's no longer just a car stereo. Back in the days, you know, Toyota, Ford, all those guys, they were just going to buy whatever was not going to break, and whatever kept the customer from breaking it. Right. You know, they were going to, that was what it was going to be. So aftermarket had the opportunity to up all of that, right? Better audio, better features, better look, you know, all of that stuff. But as the OE started to switch into these integrated dashes and putting bigger screens, and you had Apple introducing CarPlay and Android introducing Android Auto, and them being able to do like phone data things on OE screens, it changed the industry for us. Right, absolutely. You know, like all the way changed it. Like, it really made us have to, you know, we couldn't stay in our old school ways of like, Deccan 2s, or, I don't know, what that means, but Deccan 2s, or, 4 and a sub, or tri-motored amps or something. Like, it just made us have to consider the industry different and have to engage the industry different. Because now you're going to come in and a double-din radio is a 6.95 screen.
Yeah.
And I've got a factory 8-inch. Like, why would I want to remove an 8-inch screen to go to a 6-inch screen? Right. Now, granted, 6-inch screen is going to do a whole bunch more stuff.
Right.
But it's a smaller screen now, right? Like, so the OE really forced our industry to have to evaluate and figure out what to do. And that's where you had a bunch of companies like Nav TV and Pi and PAC and all of these guys creating devices that would go into the factory screen to give you some features like that. But then it creates the same thing with like this kind of a switch between, aftermarket and factory. There was always a hard switch in there. I don't even remember this stuff. Vic and I talked about it, but like Nav TV would have it where you could add a video signal into your factory screen, but doing that, it actually disconnected all of the navigation stuff. So you couldn't navigate and do other things, and this was pre-CarPlay. Yeah. So this was pre-navigation on your phone, right? Like, the only way you had navigation was in your car stereo. And so in order for you to add features like being able to put in a video source, you had to lose the navigation during that process. And so there was a clear, like, this or that. Right. And so with a screen replacement for the 19 Silverado would be the same. This or that. You couldn't do both. But for us, we wanted to do all of that stuff. Yeah. Which is why our development process is just very different. So yeah. Absolutely. I don't know where we started that rabbit trail.
I think it was fantastic.
Boom, we landed back at the Silverado. Yes. And you should come check out the Silverado. We will be demoing the Silverado XL as well with our Bose DSP Delete. So along with the crazy coding when it comes to the CAN bus and Ethernet inside the Chevy, the Bose signal's super goofy too. So we're still trying to create a Bose adapter. But for the meantime, we have an actual DSP swap. So you actually will go to the factory Bose amp, pull the factory Bose amp, plug ours into the factory Bose amp wiring, and then we'll have a pre-tuned DSP with an extra channel that you can add a subwoofer. So might be a little bit more money out of the gate than just an adapter would be, but man, I'm telling you, it's going to make double your power, all of that stuff. The audio system, so keeping those Bose speakers will be a big jump. So we'll be demoing that. So our truck will have our DSP amp delete, Bose amp delete, and then the XL in the Silverado, so you guys can kind of get a first look at that. Right. Hoping to hit the market, and then that big old 18.5 inch screen for that Ford thing is legit, man. Like. I almost was like, that's too big. But then you get in and you're like, I don't know, man. I couldn't sit in it during SEMA because I was afraid, like in the Jeep. Like, I've been driving the Jeep for like a year now. And we went from the 12-inch screen, which was dope. And then we put that big XL in there. And now when I get into one with the 12-inch screen, I'm like,
Yeah.
It's okay.
Honestly, it's the same. Like, when I walk into Costco and I see that bigger screen. And I'm like, but mine's only this size. And that's like 10 extra inches.
It's like,
honey, no? Okay.
Yeah. I can remember my first big flat screen TV was a 55-inch plasma Samsung, baby.
Dude.
720 rated, baby. Woo! And that thing was like $4,000 or something stupid. Now it's like, get an 85-inch 4K for $650 at Walmart or something like that. It's ridiculous. But yes, it's always big until you see bigger. So I didn't want to sit in the Ford a lot at SEMA and get used to that 18.5, and then getting back in the Jeep and be like, it's only 15.6.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that'll be demoing. You guys can get to take a look at that and just kind of see. Again, it'll be in our rep truck. So those of you guys who are reps, just know this truck's gonna be coming out pretty soon for you guys to take a look at, drive around like our other ones. And it's a EcoBoost hybrid truck.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know that was a thing until we bought it. So super loaded, but we're gonna take the factory 12-inch out, put a big old 18.5-inch screen, and so that'll be at the show. So you guys want to check out both of those. We'll be showing the RV stuff. We'll be showing some of the amp stuff. Like I said, we'll be doing the training, and then we'll be right next to TanLink, where there'll be demoing a bunch of the DVRs from Red Tiger and Wolfbox, which we've got. I think we've got both Like we've got the Wolf Box stuff in the Jeep, and I think we had Red Tiger stuff in the other truck. So really nice DVRs, super easy to use. I actually have the sim. Sorry, this is crazy. I'm not an aliens guy, okay? But guys, listen, check it out. So I was driving to work this morning, right? Mm-hmm. And we're in SoCal, so everything's on fire here, by the way. Like there was like 3 fires on my way home, and then like all of LA is still burning down. So it's SoCal. This is what happens. We always burn down about this time of the year. So I'm like driving, and it's super dark, right?
Yeah.
And off to my right on the freeway, you know where M Mountain is?
Yeah.
Like there's this like stream of fire, and I'm like, oh snap, is M Mountain on fire? Because I can't see the mountain yet.
Right.
It's still too dark. I'm like, man, is M Mountain on fire? Right? And I'm driving, I'm getting closer. No, bro. Like it was like fire trail of something flying in the air. And I was like, what? So I'm like trying to grab my phone so I could record it, and then it disappeared.
Oh.
Yeah. So I got the DVR camera SD card out of the Wolf Box, so I need to play it and see if it shows it.
Dude, that'd be a trip.
Yeah. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna get like a bazillion likes or whatever, or follows or something. So I'm gonna put it on social media. What is this? And circle it.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, people clickbait all the time.
All day long.
It gets it.
UFO over SoCal?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so anyways, there you go, guys. DVR. I don't know. If it works, I'll have it on right now. You guys can see it. But if it doesn't work, then don't mind me. I'm just talking crazy. But anyways, I was driving. I was like, what is that? I was like trying to get my phone out, but it didn't work. But the DVR, I think, caught it. So we'll see. I'll check that after this.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, problem 1 was getting round 3 recorded. And then we got to hope the audio and the video works.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. This podcast, it might be the podcast. And like, if we get a take 4, I'm going to be so sad.
Yeah. Take 4 is going to be me. We're at KnowledgeFest. Yes. Come see us.
Please.
Exactly. From my phone or something like that, technology, man.
It's fun.
It doesn't matter how many times I check it. Something doesn't work right. The camera goes out of focus, which for all I know, the camera's out of focus right now because the screens are black, so... We'll just have faith. Living on a prayer.
Yep.
Living on a prayer. Anyways, so if you guys are coming out to the K-Fest, man, please come by. Check out all the stuff. We'll introduce you to Derek over at TanLink if you guys are interested in getting connected with any of the Wolf Box or Red Tiger stuff. They got some really nice. They have some nice marketing stuff. They've got some really nice products, and they're looking to grow their dealer base. Yeah. And just know, chances are we're going to end up helping along the way. So if you guys have been happy with your service here, just know that it should cross over pretty similar there. So, but man, Vegas in a week. Come to our training. Come check out the new applications. I don't know, man. I think I should try now ending and seeing if round 3 works. Well, because and I don't want to have 2 of the lost podcasts. Yeah, you know.
I mean, I don't know how much time we have left in the day.
Not enough.
I don't know if we're going to be able to do a take 4.
I'm telling you, take 4 is going to be me in the car driving home or something from my phone. I don't know. Anyways, so thank you guys for dealing with our impromptu chat about the shows. Excited for KnowledgeFest. Excited for what's going to come. If you're a dealer, man, please hit me up. I'd love to get you interviewed and get some media out there. We've really gotten a ton of traction on all of our dealer interviews because ultimately we want to get customers to you,
right?
And we want, ultimately it's a partnership. So we get customers to you because they're going to watch, and maybe you're in their area. Yeah. And then on our end of things, like there's a lot of shops out there that might be hesitant, and so hearing testimonials from our dealers that that we're a good dealer to go with, then it helps us. So
I would say though, like the dealers that make themselves known to us in tech support, at least for me, I know for me. So if like someone calls like bumper to bumper, I'll give a shout out there. Bumper to bumper, like every single time I get a bumper to bumper call, I'm like, yeah, those are the guys. So if someone is in the area and they're like, oh, where do I go? And I like look on the zip code thing for finding a retailer and there's bumper to bumper, I'm like, just go in that direction.
Yeah.
By making that relationship with you and vice versa, it allows us to use your name more often. It's on the tongue, you know what I mean? So
because we get asked a lot, and that literally is what I said in the video when I was asking you guys to call in. Like, the most asked question is, where can I get this?
Right.
You know, whether, like, we've got people literally calling us, how can I buy this?
Right.
And then every video I post, I have at least 4, 5, 6 people asking, hey, where do I buy this?
Where can I buy
where
this?
do I get this? It's not, there's no link, or there's no way to buy it on your website, you know? So then I got to be like, yes, you have to find a dealer. And then there's the whole process of like, okay, where? So if we have, you know, guys that we've partnered up, like, we got to hang out with some pretty cool folks at SEMA.
Right.
And then it just helps your social media, helps our social media, you know, friends of friends.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So please do, you know, let me know if you're interested in that, because, well, quite frankly, it's just good.
Yeah.
Yeah, just good.
Yeah.
Anyways. So that's it, man. Episode 25. Come see us at KFest. Come check out the new stuff. See TanLink. Say hi to Art, because he'll be there.
Yep.
Justin will not, so you'll have to send him an IM.
Yep.
Tell him, just smiley faced. We love you, Justin.
Miss you.
Know, miss you. Kissy face.
Yes.
XO.
Yep.
All of those things.
Yes.
Oh, good old Justin. Love that guy. But that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you haven't, click the link in the description. Go out there. We're still trying to give away an amplifier. As soon as we hit those that 20,000 subscribers, we'll give away that 1,000-watt amplifier. So, and even if you have subscribed, just know that link has other ways for you to get into the drawing. Yep. So just because you're a subscriber doesn't mean you're out of the drawing. We've got a lot of ways for you to get into that drawing. So win yourself a 1,000-watt amp, which I can tell you firsthand handles it. I've had the 1,000-watt amp in our Jeep for 2 years running at 1 ohm, and it hasn't failed me yet. So good amp, powerful amp, will handle your business. So make sure you hit that. But for now, the next time we'll see you, we will be in Vegas. Doing it live from Vegas? Not live. I always say live, but it's not really live.
Yeah.
It's on site in Vegas.
On-site Vegas, live.
Either way.
Yeah.
But that's where we'll be coming from. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.